In one day, I made 45% ROI with just 0 DTE credit spreads. So first, if you don't know what credit spreads are, make sure you check out this tutorial linked in the upper right-hand corner. Pause this video, watch that, then come back. So first, let's take a look at the trade. I sold a credit spread on SPX, the S&P 500 index, put credit spread at 57.75, 57.70. So a 5-point spread. I traded 6 of this and I collected $155 of credit for every single one of these, which means that my total credit collected is $930. Now, at the end of the day, SPX ended out way out of the money, around like 5,800 or so. So we were out of the money, which means that we made max profit of $930. And we know this because anytime SPX ends above our sold put, which is the 57.75, so it's greater than 57.75, we'll make max profit. And if it's below 57.70, which is below our bottom leg, our protection leg, we'll take our max loss, which will be $3,000, 500 times 6, minus 930, which will be $2,070, which is our max loss. Which means that we can calculate my return on investment since I made max profit of 930, which means that it will be 930 divided by 2070, which will equal 45%. Actually, just in an hour or so, I made 45% return on investment. This looks great and all, right? 930, 45%. But how do we actually trade this? And this is where we're going to talk about the strategy. And this will transform how you guys trade credit spreads. So in order to find these great trades, there is 4 simple steps that we have to follow that I like to call MAX. M stands for market trend, A stands for area of interest, C stands for criteria of entry, and S stands for stop loss. So what is M? M is us identifying the trend because we ultimately want to follow the trend, whether it's an uptrend, downtrend, or going sideways. Once we know what the trend is, then we'll move on to the next step, which is finding an area to potentially trade at. But at a high level, what we're going to do is we're going to look for these areas of supports and resistances that have higher than average implied volatility. Once we identify these areas of high reward, we're going to move on to step number 3, which is criteria of entry. All because it enters an area doesn't mean that we're going to take it. We need to make sure that there is a good reason to take that trade. This can be candlesticks patterns such as bullish engulfing candlesticks. Lastly, after we enter this trade, we're going to set our stop loss, which is our S. We want to give out as soon as we know that we've lost so that we can minimize our losses. So we're going to see these 4 principles in action by reviewing that trade that I took and applying these 4 principles. If you're enjoying the content right now, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel to make sure you never miss a video about building those passive income streams. First thing that we have to do is to look at M, which is market trend. So the trade that I took was on October 23rd. So we're going to jump over to October 22nd after hours to just see what the overall trend is. So you can see right here, the market is in a pretty obvious uptrend, right? Go from a low to a high, to a higher low, to a higher high, again to a higher low, again to a higher high. But the overall long-term trend is up. But we have to also identify what the short-term trend is. And what I like to do is I like to drop it down to the 30 minutes. And what you can see here is in the 30 minutes, the market is actually consolidating and running sideways to a certain extent. We go from a low to a high, to a low, to a high, the same high actually, and then to a lower low, to a higher low, again to the same low, and now to a higher high. The long-term trend is up, and the short-term trend is kind of stagnating, going sideways. But how do we know when to trade? So this is where we would then start identifying areas of interests. One thing I like to do again is to identify areas at a higher time scale because these areas are usually more impactful. So here we will start drawing areas of resistances and supports. So the first thing you'll notice is that there's an area of potential support around 57.70, right? Why this is the previous swing low that broke up to a higher high. And if it retraces, it could also potentially be another swing high. So this is an area of potential support around 57.75. Our area of resistance would be at 58.78 because that is the last high that we hit. We're going to draw 2 lines here, 1 and 2. Okay. Now we're gonna go drop it down to 30 to just reconfirm these levels. So there's another area of potential support that would be around 58.20 that can act as a short-term area of support. So if it ever retraces into here and it bounces up, then we can trade in the bullish direction. If it breaks this, we can potentially trade in the bearish direction. Now that we have the areas, let's talk about some criteria, and I kind of already alluded to it. If it enters these areas and it shows something like this, for example, right here, that is a very strong rejection of this 58.80 level, which means that you can potentially trade in the bearish direction, right? Because this is a large candlestick. At the same time, this could also act as a bullish confirmation. I actually wouldn't take this trade because the candlestick's length isn't tall enough. Or even something right here, right? This is what we would call a hammer with another shooting star that ends up higher than the previous candle. So this can also be a confirmation of bullish intent. And so if you see this, you can potentially trade in the bullish direction. So these are three relatively solid examples of what criteria of entry could be. So now that we have this game plan, we're gonna move on to the day of the trade, which is the 23rd, to see how we apply MAC and then finally S. So let's talk about this day. There's two trades that I would have taken. So let's talk about the trade that I took and then also as an example, the trade that I missed. Because I want to trade the trend, usually speaking, right? The trend is in an uptrend. I want to trade in the bullish direction. But as you can clearly see at the day open, the market is kind of in a bearish trend now. Broke the previous support and it continued all the way down into our level of potential support. And once it enters this 57.80 level, I'm actually interested in trading in a bullish direction. But I need to get is a criteria of entry, which is a bullish confirmation that the trend will continue up. So we're gonna look at this trade, and this is the trade that I took. So at 11 o'clock, this is what we would call a hammer. This is a very good bullish signal in an area of support. Areas of supports and resistances usually accommodate and account for higher implied volatility. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you guys check out this video linked in the upper right-hand corner here where I explain in depth what that means. But here below is an implied volatility chart. So you can see one, that the market is telling us that this is a potential support because implied volatility has spiked. But for me, I need one more candle to understand that this is a bullish trend. And what I like to do is I like to wait for the next candle to form, right, at 11:30. So my criteria of entry, my C, right, because we already talked about T, which is up. We talked about A, which is this area of support. Now C is I want to see this second candlestick break above the high of the previous candle. So right here at 57.77. Once it breaks up above that, then I'm going to enter the trade. The market has confirmed to me to a certain extent that the bullish trend is starting. We're gonna take this candle right here, this dryer, and we're gonna drop it right above that. And we'll drop it down to the 5. You can see that I basically traded right at the money, 57.75, 57.70, because I'm anticipating that the market is going to go up. And for that, I took on $155 of credit. Now, after we enter this trade, we have to then figure out what S is, what is our stop loss. So I like to trade a lot on the 30 for this pattern, so we'll go back to 30. I'm gonna set my stop loss slightly below the candle that was formed. The formation around 57.72, I'm gonna set it around 57.70. So if the market ever retraces back to 57.70, then I wanna get stopped out and I wanna exit this trade. And the reason behind that is really simple. I'm trading this uptrend here. The market doesn't necessarily have to respect the uptrend, right? I can be wrong. And so the fact that this is retracing back down, I don't feel comfortable that this upswing is gonna happen. So I'm gonna exit first, reevaluate, and see whether or not the market's gonna go up again. So you can see the risk and reward is actually pretty solid. If I were to lose around 5 points in this case, I'd probably lose maybe $50 per spread, but I'm planning on making 160, give or take, right? So my risk to reward ratio is around 1 to 3. But as you can see, the market went all the way up at the end of the day and I exited. So the result's really not that important. You'll end up losing some trades, you'll end up winning some trades. But the thought process and strategy behind it is the most important thing. We're gonna do one more on the trade that I missed earlier in the morning. So we know for a fact that the market in the short term is consolidating. If it breaks past this area of support, then it could potentially be in a downtrend, right? It goes from a high to a lower high, and now it's forming a lower low. So a good trade for us to take is that if the short-term trend is now down because this area of support is broken, you see the same principles, M, A, and C is if it breaks this area of support and starts dropping below it, you can enter this trade. So because this is a short-term trend, I like to drop it down to the 5. So here, right, it's still in this level area and it breaks right here. This is our criteria of entry because it broke the area of support and it's closing below. So after it's broken the support, we can then now trade on the bear side by entering a call credit spread basically right at the money. Why? Because at this point in time, we're anticipating that the trend will continue to go down. Therefore, we're allowed to be aggressive. What is our S, stop loss? One thing you would do is you would set it slightly above this candlestick right here. And I would say right around, if this is 52.21, I would just set it at 52.24. If it loses, you'll lose again like 50 bucks. If you win, you'll make maybe 150, maybe 200. And you can see the market then will continue all the way down, and then you would have made max profit on the day. If you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comment section below. If you want to see how you can apply the max principle to 1 DTs, make sure you guys check out this video linked in the end screen right here. Right, until next time, stay safe in the market. Peace.